Check one, check one. Welcome back to the Graybeard Podcast. It is solo night, and as such, I decided that I would podcast all alone, just my little onesies, just me. There's some things a brewing, some things a changing, and I thought I would go ahead and kind of address those things. I mean, really, it's just one thing. So we are going to be changing the night of our podcast. It will no longer be on Wednesday evenings. We're going to be moving to Friday evenings. If you're interested in joining us on the lives, you'll have to join us on Friday evenings. And hopefully it'll be a little bit more conducive for you as the viewer and for me as the host of the show. But we've got a lot of cool things coming up. Great guests, interesting topics. I don't know. Are there ever any interesting topics? I mean, you be the judge. But I figured I would come on here tonight and just kind of, just chill and see what happens, see who hops in the live, and maybe I'll flash my phone number across the screen. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But if you wanted to call in, maybe we could do that. If you have my cell number, actually, I wonder if you could just call me through Instagram. There's no telling, right? I need to hook that up so I can, if I do get a call, I can answer it. Okay, we're connected. So I'm actually going to make a live post right about now. Or should I just go live? Let's just go live on Instagram and see what the fuck happens. Wow, this is probably the most boring podcast ever. Yeah. Live. So now we're going Inception. We're going live on Instagram. See? You're live. You're live on Instagram. I've got the door open and the dogs are on the ground there. I don't know if you can see them. Anyways, if you're in the live on Instagram, feel free to jump into the live on YouTube. And if you'd like to call in, we can do that. Use Instagram to call in. So I'm going to just set that right there. Yeah, so that's going to sound really garbagey, the Instagram, because I don't have a mic on it. So if you'd like to join the YouTube live, that would be fantastic. Make sure, yeah, we're good. System audio, we're good. Okay. So, the Graybeard Podcast. What's changing? We're changing the days, like I said. And we're going to go from Wednesday night to Friday night. If you are someone that owns a business or is a creative here in Jacksonville, Florida, and would like to, join me on the show, I would love you to DM me and reach out. And I think it will be pretty awesome. What's up, Patty? What's up, BC? Which came first, Jim, the chicken or the egg? They're having a conversation with each other in the chat. So Patty, BC said, Patty! And BC, I don't know, man. I honestly couldn't tell you which one came first. I'm going to go ahead and say maybe the chicken if you're a creationist, and the egg if you're into the, science of it all. That is true. Something had to lay an egg. I don't know what that has to do with this podcast, but we're just winging it right now. So Patty couldn't be here, but I want you guys to give him a little round of silent applause. Do it in your head, just that internet love support. He's onto a new venture. He's got a new job, and he's pretty excited about it. And it's putting a cramp in my style, but I don't care. It's fine. I love him, and I'm glad that he's doing something that he's excited about. And but it may cause him to maybe miss a day or two. Oh, he said it's the egg, something that wasn't a chicken laid a mutation. What the fuck? I don't know. But so who knows? I might be looking for an intern for my friend Patty, someone to come in and run the board, as it were, and sit in this chair right here. Not full-time, obviously. Patty is the number one turntablist, or whatever you call it. He's up here spinning the, what do we call it, Pat? Spinning the deck? I'm so unhip. But yeah, he's the number one guy. But if you're interested in, learning about live streaming and like how we do things, and you are interested in becoming maybe a part-time part of this podcast, please reach out to me, and we'll take it into consideration. But Patty, don't get worried, man. We're not forced. I'm not trying to push you out or nothing. Your place is secure. I just need might need some help, a little backup. But that would be pretty interesting. I think. I really think it would be interesting to just see who's interested in doing doing this audio and video. And just joining me maybe, once a month or whatever. I mean, being able to call on you whenever I need to. That's basically what I'm looking for. I mean, if you want to join us every week, that's cool too. But you may just be hanging out. So that's that in a nutshell. Yeah, I know, man. But hey, that's a real job, Pat. Said the only thing that sucks about this job is that I don't know my schedule, what it looks like, until the end of the day. And that is a real job. Patty is providing, he is continuing the growth of our infrastructure by using his hands. Okay, he's out there, blood, sweat, and tears. Hopefully less tears and blood, but sweat's okay. It's not going to hurt you. But yeah, he's up in attics. He's running that HVAC now, and he's doing an awesome job from what I understand. And I will let you know how awesome it is when he gets up in this attic and fixes my air conditioning. Just messing with you, Patty. If you're in the live on the Instagram, I'm going to shut that thing down and I'm going to wipe it from existence. I just wanted to let everybody know that you can call me. I'll throw the headphones on and we can have a conversation. I believe you can go into my messages and call me through Instagram. It's probably the easiest way to do it, so I don't actually put my number out online. However, I believe my number may be on my photography page. So if you're really interested, go over there and you can do some detective work and you can find it yourself. Yes, it is what we call a contributing member of society in this. You're very, very true. Very true, sir. Let's see if I can add that to the old Streamio there. Oh, yeah, that's what Time Place said there. I can do that. It's cool. Oh, no. Okay. At any rate, I don't really have much going on right now. I've got a few photo jobs in the works, and I'm looking at the wrong camera. I've got a few photo jobs in the works, and looking to make it more. I will say, I actually I've been thinking here lately about, not so much just not doing the photography thing. I thought about taking a long break from this podcast. I thought about taking an even longer break from photography. in this world that we live in this economy that we're in right now, it is super tough to do any of this. Not asking for money. I don't want handouts. Don't think that that's what's happening. I'm just saying it's super tough. Morale is down, and I want to thank all of you guys for, keeping my morale up, because I got to tell you, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite parts of my week, getting on here and sitting down with you guys and Patty and whichever guest I have in the studio. It is literally my favorite part of the week. It's the best part of my week. I mean, outside of like seeing my kids, of course, that's natural. I mean, my kids and seeing my loved ones, my girlfriend, and everybody in the house, and my dogs. That part of my life is great, and I love that. But this right here is a real joy to me. Getting in here and talking to you guys and really and having you guys interact as well in the live, which is awesome. Having a little cappuccino. This is not cappuccino. This is just regular coffee. But no matter what, even no matter even the consequences, we've had our follies with YouTube, and I've been looking at another platform. What the hell, Rumble. Okay, I if you are, Elliot, I'm tapping you right now, or someone that I talked to BC last week. Go back and check that episode. It was a really good episode, and thank you so much for coming in, buddy. He's still anonymous, by the way, so I have to keep him, with the BC. I can't tell you his name, even though it's in the title. But still, you don't know who he is unless you've met him. Anyways, rambling. But yeah, if you know anything about Rumble, maybe hit me up. Let me know what you think. Is it a viable, social media? Is it something that would you go and find me there? And would you join my live on Rumble versus YouTube each week? I don't know. I have no clue, but like I said, it's a brand new platform. To me, it may not be a brand new platform to in its own accord, but I've only just heard of it. And from what I understand, what I like about the idea of Rumble, that the thing that's different from YouTube is that it's, sorry, I've got a little natty poo in here. The thing that's different than YouTube is the fact that it's not so much geared towards mega superstars, A, and B, they don't really censor as much. So, yeah, I know. I think Patty said the idea of Rumble's great. It's just not user friendly. So maybe that's the case, right? Maybe that's. Let me get that. I'm going to move this down here. There. That way it's not like right in my eyeball. But yeah, maybe that's the case, Pat. I don't, I don't know. I mean, I went on there and I really didn't, I couldn't find anything. I didn't really search for anything of importance. I just wanted to see how the platform worked, how the videos looked, all that good stuff. Now, the only reason I want to leave YouTube at all is because YouTube is extremely, I feel like it's biased. And it's a place where you can't really say what you feel or just talk about anything. It used to be very open. I've never had an issue with YouTube. Let's see what old time and place says here. Rumble offers the opportunity to create a following on a new platform, which is good. It's a long game. I don't know anyone who uses it currently, but at one point TikTok was an app nobody used. Pros and cons. Very true. Very true. Let's switch back over to this camera so I can see the screen. But yes, you're right. TikTok, maybe that's the place. Maybe I do know that now Instagram is actually allowing for live streaming, not this kind of live streaming here, but actually from this podcast being able to live stream straight onto Instagram would be nice. Would be nice if I could live stream onto TikTok. That would be super dope. Problem is, I stream in 16 by 9 landscape, and everything else generally Instagram, TikTok, everything else is generally 9 by 16, which is vertical. So that does poop. It proves to be an issue in that regard, but who knows? I don't know. I'm still into it, looking into it, but like I said, I've had issues with YouTube. Used to be a pretty cool place. I'm no expert. I'm basically a moron. I've said this so many times, and I'm not trying to be self-deprecating, but when I talk about certain topics that require you to have some sort of knowledge about a topic, and I blatantly say that I have no knowledge of this topic, if I'm honest and open with you, like, I don't know much about this. This is just what I heard, or I'm explaining something I've seen on the interwebs. It just seems to me like that should not be considered misinformation, because I give the disclaimer every week. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. I'm not smart enough to know, especially when it pertains to like science, politics, or anything of that nature. I have my opinions, but I guess my question or my thing is, if an opinion is misinformation, are we not allowed to have opinions anymore? Is that what we're saying, YouTube? As I'm streaming to YouTube. So at any rate, I appreciate all you guys that joined in the live on Instagram. If you have any questions, please feel free. You can shoot them to me here. You can ask them in the live on Instagram, or you can go to YouTube and you can ask them there. I will see them both places, hopefully. However, that's really all I had to really talk about, was just the day of the podcast changing, and we maybe go into a different platform. The likelihood of us changing platforms is pretty nil right now, though, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But I'll take the opportunity to say thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. Makes my little heart thump. I'm sure you can hear my dogs. If you can't, I had them in here with me, but Mama may be home now, so they had to run inside and look out the window. But yeah, I actually wanted to have them come on, and so I could introduce you to them. That would have been dope. See their little mischievous faces. I know everybody loves dogs. I love dogs. I love all animals. I'm allergic to cats, so if you're a cat person, I am so sorry. I probably won't be staying over at your place. No matter how clean you are as a cat person, I always smell the cat box. I will say this, though. My friend Hillary, she had a cat, and I didn't smell it at all, but that's because the litter box was outside, so on the little terrace. Pretty smart. So if you have any questions right now, I'll open up the floor for you guys, and I'm just going to sit here and stare at you until you ask questions, or, leave a comment or whatever. Otherwise, no, that's it. Yeah. Otherwise, I may end this podcast early. I didn't plan on really being on here for much longer than like maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. Like I said, I've been kind of slacking. Can I be truth over harmony here? I want to be open and honest with you guys. I've been slacking. And to those of you that have reached out to me to come on the show, I apologize. I've got a lot going on in life between my full-time job, the photography stuff, and home life, regular, mild depression and whatever. It's no big deal. We just push that down further as far as we can go until we can't see it anymore or feel it, right? But yeah, I've been slacking and not really thinking about who I'm going to have on. I used to be a lot more preemptive with the guests. I would like reach out to people months in advance, and I would be booked for the, at least for 2 months. And maybe doing that made me complacent. I don't know, because you're like, hey, I'm booked for 2 months and you don't have to worry about it. You got a guest every week. But it's not always that way. I guess that doesn't always last. And so, yeah, that's why I'm sitting here tonight by myself because I slacked. And, you can't, if you want to have a business or start something like this, you really can't slack. It's just not an option. And I don't normally. Normally, I bust my tail for this thing. But, we all have moments, I suppose, right? I mean, have you ever had the moment in your life when you're like, nothing's going the way I wanted it to go? Nothing's going as I planned it to go. I don't have the job I want. I'm not with the person I want. I don't have the house I want. I don't drive the car I want. I think about that a lot. Not that I'm unhappy on any of those fronts. I'm extremely happy on all those fronts because I don't care about physical things, but the doing of the things, that's the thing that I really, are you doing what you want to do? Are you happy in your life with your lot? So those are the things that I think about on a constant. And I'm super happy to have all the people that in my life. There's no question there. Excuse me, I kind of burped in your ear a little bit. I apologize. Let's see if I can. I don't know, guys. This Instagram live thing it's kind of for the birds. I don't like it. I don't like the way I look on it. It's too bright. I don't like it. Let's see. See how much darker I am over there. I got my dogs in there, so, if you're in, you got to see my puppies. Come here, Willow. This is my Willow, the black one, and this is Reese's. He's a ham. And for you guys, I'm sorry you can't see that. I'm not going to angle the cameras down so you can see it, but on the live on the Instagram, they got to see the puppies. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the live on Instagram because I got way too much going on and I need to use my brain. What's up, 3Easy? Of course, you jump in and now I'm going to stop the live. I'll see you. You can jump over on YouTube if you want to, buddy. I'm over there. All right. Peace out. End it now. No, I don't want to share. Okay. That's done. Now I can focus maybe a little better. Okay. So where was I at before the dogs? Before the dogs, what were we before dogs? Anything? Probably not very civilized. I know that my dogs, they make me civil. But yeah, it's just one of those deals, man. I hope that you are all doing what it is that you want to do with your life. Whether you're creating something art-wise or, it's an entrepreneurship, whatever you're doing, I hope that you're living your life to the best of your ability and that you're happy. And, that's all any of us want is just to be happy. But what does that mean? I've been getting very philosophical lately and, probably I had a very deep debate. Not really a debate. It was a discussion. I don't really debate people. I ask questions. And they're honest and earnest questions. Especially when it comes to something like religion, I don't troll anybody. But when you tell me one thing, it like opens up the door for another question. But the questions I were asking is just, is there an omniscient being out there in the world that created all of this? And if there is, who created that being? And then, how did that being become into existence? And then so on and so forth. And if you think about it, that will blow your fucking mind because it's endless. It's like, I guess it's kind of like parents, right? we create our children, and or not, if you can't have children, I'm sorry, but generally speaking, people have children, and then they go have children, and then they go have children, and then by the time your children's children are born, you're long gone, so they don't know you. Of course, the only difference is there's evidence. There's photo evidence. For me, and in my situation, what's cool about what I'm doing, and probably one of my favorite things about what I'm doing, is that unless like the whole world gets hit with an EMP, or we just fuck ourselves into oblivion, I'm gonna always have, or my children will always have, video recording of me doing this. So let me take a second and shut that fucking door. All right, I'm back. Sorry, those little tick turds were, I love them, but man, they got some separation anxiety of the likes I've never seen. But back to the philosophical question: what is happiness? What is it? Is it a feeling, an overall feeling? Is it a belief? I mean, what is it? And how do you actually know if you're happy? It's just one of those things. You may feel happy, but are we ever really happy? Like, that's just a weird thing. And it's also one of those damn words that the more you say it, the weirder it sounds. But people are talking here in the chat. Oh, they're still talking about Rumble. Yeah. It's debatable, Patty. I'm not sure about that, but I do believe the bottom comment is that you said is correct. It's an all-out war on the First Amendment. That is 100% true. But whatever the feeling of happy is, this does give me a sense of fulfillment, maybe. It makes me feel like I'm doing something, and I really do enjoy meeting people and talking to them and getting to know their story, and being able to have a platform like this where I can share their stories. So let me do this. For those of you that have been watching for a while and the gig, I'm gonna like give the newbie disclaimer. Okay. If you are new to this podcast, normally it's not just me. Normally I have a guest. Normally I have a producer that sits in this chair. Circumstances being what they are. I've already mentioned those things earlier on. You can rewind and listen to me telling you, my inadequacies. But this podcast, I'm a photographer and a videographer, whatever. I dabble in everything. I try to become proficient in as many things with my camera as I possibly can. But this is not necessarily just a photography podcast. That's where a lot of people get me twisted, because they know a lot of people that I talk to in person, when I tell them I have a podcast or, whatever, they ask me, is your podcast about photography? And I'm like, not necessarily. We stray from that topic, which is totally fine. I actually enjoy those conversations more, because I love photography, and I have an absolute, in my heart, I love it, and it's part of me. It's a passion, and but I know that talking about it can be boring. So if you actually listen to my podcast, if you go on and listen to the audio version of my podcast, and you start from like episode 1, you'll see that it was just me. And that I was just talking about photography and photography-related things, videography, audio gear, audio techniques, photography technique, whatever, tips and tricks and stuff like that. I don't offer 30-second hacks. Those types of things have no place in my YouTube or on my podcast. If it's something I learned, I would tell you about it. But if you get to the point where you see a guest on the podcast. And then you start seeing, after that, it just starts being a new guest every week. That is actually me realizing that what I was doing was super fucking boring. I censored myself. When I'm by myself, I felt like I had to censor myself. Like I felt like I needed to be the clean photographer with a podcast. I don't know why I thought that. It's not me. I got a dirty mouth. I'm a foul bitch. You know, I got a dirty mind and a dirty mouth. That's, you know, not everybody has to be, you know, Peter McKinnon. You know, that guy is a fucking saint. He's like the Neil Peart for photographers. And if you don't know who Neil Peart is, he's another Canadian, but God rest his soul. He's passed on. He's a drummer from Rush. So if you didn't know that, and every drummer idolizes that guy. You know, a lot of people, especially people coming into videography and photography, they find Peter first because his page is huge. And I thought in the beginning that I had to try and model myself after his page, but I quickly realized, maybe not so quick, maybe it was too late in the game. Maybe it was right on time. I don't know. But I realized that that's not my personality. This is my personality. This is me. I cuss a lot. I say naughty things sometimes. We deviate from whatever fucking topic we're on. And, you know, we have a lot of fun. You know, I think that's what makes the podcast fun. It's not meant to be a boring ass humdrum podcast that you see every day about photographers or photography gear or whatever. That shit bores the fuck out of me. Could I do that? Yeah. Could I just record it and then edit it and make it look beautiful and sound great and then put it up like a fucking swanky YouTube video with little things inserted here and there? And I don't want to do that. I like this. This is good for me. And you know, so yeah, this is what it is. This podcast is a podcast about really nothing. Honestly, I don't have an agenda when I sit down to the mic. I don't research questions. When I have a new guest on, I don't like go in and do a fuck ton of research. I just don't do that. You know, I not that I think that that's bad. I think it's actually good. I've actually been thinking about doing it more. But I honestly feel like it's more from the heart and more authentic when it's you know, when it's on the cuff, off the cuff, you know, just right off the rip. I feel more engaged with my guest. I feel like I ask the questions that I actually want to know about because I'm actually engaged in the conversation. Could I write down a bunch of canned ham questions? Of course I could. Would it be good? I don't know. Would you be able to judge the authenticity? Who the fuck knows? Maybe, maybe not. But like I said, you can love it, hate it, like it, dislike it, whatever. You know, if you love it, stay with me. Hang out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then hit the little fucking bell for every time we go live or I upload something. Because God knows, if I have a podcast episode that gets deleted after the live is finished, I have to then go and edit it. And after I edit it, I re-upload it so then it's not in the live tab anymore. But I recently had to do that with my friend 3Easy. He did pop into the Instagram live that I was running, but I honestly, I'm going to tell you, and if you don't know me already, I'm going to tell you right now, I fucking loathe social media. I loathe it. I don't like it. I dislike it. Not love, loathe. I very muchly dislike it. And I'm doing everything I can to fight against having to use it. I will post video clips if I have to. Mostly, I only post the video clips so that you can see the person that I'm talking to. I won't post any video clips from this. How boring would that be? This shit's got to be the most boring fucking thing that anyone's ever listened to in their entire lives. Well, maybe not. I'm sure there's some other shit out there, but it's pretty fucking boring. I'm bored. I wish you would ask me questions in the live on YouTube. Don't be scared. I'm not going to reach through the TV or computer or phone or whatever you're watching on. I'm not going to bite you. Not unless you ask me to. You got to ask nice, though. And I need dinner first. Yeah, I vape. It's bad. But I will tell you this. If I didn't fucking vape, I'd be smoking cigarettes. And I've never felt better since I quit smoking cigarettes. Yay me. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't drink alcohol. So, there you go. Straight edge as it can be. These things in my hand are my only vices. Well, outside of sex. That's another vice. But that's neither here nor there. What? How does Bill Burr and some of these other guys? I'm not a comedian, by the way, but I like to try and pretend I'm funny. I do write jokes down, or like premises for jokes that I will probably never sit down and actually take the time to like really craft the joke. Would you like me to go through some of them? This coffee is making me verklempt. I don't know. What the fuck is this? Oh. First sign of decline. This is just a premise. First sign of the decline of intellect in America was the pet rock. This is an awesome concept, and if I really dive into it, I'm sure I could probably come up with at least a 2-minute joke. But I don't know what the punchline would be yet. But I mean, honestly, if you think about it, though, like everybody, when I was a kid, the pet rock came out. You could go to the store, and there was inside the store, there was on a shelf, there was a box with cellophane so you could see through it. Whereupon, inside of that box was a fucking rock. It was like a little river rock, smooth. And I can't remember if they put googly eyes on it. They might have glued googly eyes to it, so it made it look like it had a little face. But it's literally a rock, guys. It was a rock. And you could pay $3, $4, $5. I mean, back then, everything cost less. So I'm trying to do the math in my head for the conversion rate between now and then. And nowadays, they would probably charge you like $25.99 for a fucking pet rock. Okay? But how stupid do you have to be to want a fucking pet rock? I say that knowing full well. I don't know where it is. But Funko Pops are a thing. I mean, at least that has like a face and it's a character. It's, they use characters that you love, whatever it is, Deadpool, Jujutsu Kaisen, whatever. They're all out. They're all out there. You can buy all of them. I had my Deadpool one somewhere. Oh, here it is. This is my little Deadpool Funko Pop. It's Deadpool on a unicorn. Maybe I'll auction this off to the highest bidder. I don't know. Maybe that'll help to pay for some of these podcasts. At any rate, that's that one joke. And, if you think of anything that's funny in that realm, please feel free to type it in. This premise, I don't know. I should have probably written down a few more. Pornography is like the stars. They're infinite? Maybe that's what I meant. It's infinite. Like when you think you've finished watching them all, you find that there's a whole new category. Maybe that was where I was going with that. This was a fun one. And yes, folks, this is what I'm fucking doing tonight. So you can either hang with me or, you can split. It's not a big deal. What do you think the first person to swim, what was that like? I mean, I wonder about that because it's like, and this is where my brain kind of went. This isn't the joke. I'm not like setting it up for a joke. It's just a premise. But my brain went to, I just started thinking about the first person to learn how to swim. So what did the people do before that person? Did they just walk out into the water and just sink to the bottom? Like it's just I don't know where these thoughts come in my brain, but it just got in there. It's like everybody died in the water until this one person decided to move his arms and legs in such a manner that he stayed afloat. And I wonder if they looked at that person and they thought, Messiah. Who knows? Back then, maybe they weren't very smart. Maybe they were. That's another thing. I mean, it's Graham Hancock. I love that man. If you don't know who he is, you should go and Google him. He's written a couple of books, Fingerprints of the Gods. It's an excellent book. It's a very long book. I suggest getting the audio version. And he's got like a nice little British accent, and it really does soothe. But yeah, his theory is that we are a civilization with amnesia, because at a certain point, a civilization will fall, and then after the fall, when the regrowth and rebirth of that, we basically find whatever text or doctrine that we can find, and we cling on to that thing, and that's what we set up our new society on. Is it right? Who knows? I don't want to get into that because that goes down the whole religious rabbit hole thing. But I will say that, if you're religious, I don't want you to take offense, but if you do, I understand. But I have a hard time believing the doctrine of men. Now, I say that full well knowing that we all live in the United States and our Constitution was written by a bunch of men, which is cool. I get that, and I appreciate that. But we're talking about history books that were written by people that are long since dead. And we all know, and if you don't know by now, but some people like to lie, and some people are full of shit. I'm seeing that a lot more these days on X, on, really that's the place. I mean, if you're into politics or whatever, go to X. It's fucking a nightmare. I have to literally type in hashtag goth chicks at least once a month just so I can have something to cleanse my palate from all the politics on X. And honestly, the goth chicks are my favorite part of X. It is what it is. Other than that, there's really nothing fucking entertaining about it. But I will say that I've seen people. You see it on both sides of the fence. The right, the left. It's the same fucking thing. Like they just switch who they're talking about. That's all they do. The left's talking about Trump, the right's talking about Kamala. It's always the same. It's like the same rhetoric. They just copy each other and just copy or just change the name. So it's kind of, that's comedy in and of itself, to be honest with you. That's pretty much comedy to me. I will literally scroll on X. I won't go on like Instagram. I get on for maybe the most I can stomach it is maybe 30 seconds at a time. I may go on more than once, but 30 seconds, that's enough for me. I can't take Instagram. I just can't. It's not for me anymore. It's not who I want to be. It's not where I want to be. It's not, there's no ROI in Instagram for me. None. No matter what I post. I did the whole thing for a while where I was posting 3 times a day and, trying to get engagement and doing all the things. And I was listening to the pros, to these people that were like, 30-second hack for Instagram. Do you want to grow your Instagram feed? Those people, you listen to them and you think, wow, they sound like they're pretty knowledgeable. They might know what they're talking about. But 9 times out of 10, it's just something they learned from another creator and they're just regurgitating it to you. And it's not always going to work for everybody. So I don't have titties and I don't look good in a bikini. So either people like me on my merit. I got to answer this, guys. So my girlfriend, she just had an appointment earlier and she just finished and said, I'm going to Taco Bell. Do you want something? What should I get? What do you guys want from Taco Bell? Something sweet. I want something sweet. cheesy grin emoji. I have to answer that. It's important. Okay. That's probably the most important thing. And I feel like that is, what did she say back? So she said, so me? Of course. Hey, this is my show. I can do whatever I want. Uncomfortable silences. I'm here for it. What was I saying? Anyways, yeah, Instagram's not my shit, but I can sit on fucking TikTok. You don't realize. I don't think you realize. Like, I give myself a 30-minute window to oh, I think she might want to fool around. We may have to end this shit real quick. Like, Daddy may get a little something. But yeah, you know, I feel like TikTok, you just don't even realize, and you can lose your fucking life on that platform. You know, even if you set yourself a window, like this is my phone usage for the day. Okay, 2 or 3 hours can go by and it'll feel like minutes. So, but also same with X. Same with that platform. But the longer you stay on it, the more depressing it is, and the more you see the back and forth bickering between the right and the left, and it's just like, Jesus Christ. Can we please get another party? I mean, a new party, like somebody that's like, you know, let's. You know, I'm just tired of the donkey and the elephant. You know, the red and the blue. It's really fucking old. I just feel like it's antiquated. Like, I think, you know, I heard somebody say one time that I think we should have like a council of elders. I almost agree with that. Like, I think there should be. I mean, the United States is far too big to try and manage everything. One person do it all. I think the role of president is a little silly. I think that I think it's silly to think that we're going to put all of our eggs into one basket. And yes, I understand it's not full control. I get there's, you know, Congress and all this shit. Like, I get it. There's people around them that help make decisions. But still, we look to that one person. And that's our guy or girl. And, you know, they got their finger on the, you know, on the button, and it could be scary for a lot of people, not just people in America. It could be scary for people in other countries too. But and I don't think we've been real tactical about who we're putting in office here lately. I feel like it's been a fucking popularity contest. Whoever looks good, you know. I think that's. Honestly, that's or it's either that or it's, you know, and my favorite term to hear is the lesser of two evils. Can we maybe put someone in position that we believe in their politics, like in their policies, you know, people that actually have policies, you know, and that's what they want to talk about instead of. I don't give a fuck what they did in 9th grade. I don't care if they smoked weed in college. I don't care. I honestly, it actually makes someone, it's more endearing if someone says, yes, I fucking smoked weed in college and I inhaled, you know, and I enjoyed it. Hell, even if they smoke weed now, I'm probably, mushrooms, if they take mushrooms, I'm probably more apt to vote for that person, to be honest with you. I couldn't give a shit less if they're religious or not, but taking mushrooms is a religious experience all in itself. Okay, it is. It just is. And if you don't think that it is, you've never tried them. Because I can tell you, I've seen good things. Good things. Not only that, I've seen good things, but I've also, every time I do it, I come away with an answer that's been to a question that's never been asked. I didn't even know it was a question, but I find something out about myself almost every time I take that journey. So if somebody, it just makes me more introspective. And I think that if somebody were to do that, it would make them, I would say, well, this person has obviously turned inward and looked inside themselves and really asked hard questions and really understands themselves and has less of an ego. The ego in politics needs to be out the fucking window. But I could digress on this all day about my feelings and this and that, and I've already rambled on longer than I thought I would. It's been almost an hour. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to reiterate before I pop off of here, but I want to reiterate that I am looking for a part-time, not part-time producer, because Patrick's my producer and no one's taking that chair from him. But I would love to have almost an intern, if you will. But over time, you may become part of the show. So that's, but if you're interested if you've ever been interested in being part of a podcast or anything of that nature, and you want to come and join us once a week and just hang out with us, and there is the real possibility that you might actually step up to the captain's chair occasionally. But please reach out to me on Instagram, or I think you could message me. Just fucking type it in the comments section. I don't care. Or if there's a message, I don't know. Is there a message platform on YouTube? Like I'll have to look into that. But reach out to me one way or the other, and we'll get back to it. I'll get back to you. You have to be in the Jacksonville area. Orange Park is better. Middleburg, those types of areas. West Side, what have you. But yeah, reach out to me. Number 2 is one of the last things I'll reiterate is we are no longer going to be podcasting on Wednesday. We are moving it to Friday night at 6, same time. It's just going to be on Fridays. Also, I want to say before I split out of here, but next Wednesday will be the very last Wednesday that we do. And next Wednesday will be another Beauty and the Beard. That's right. Jennifer Janeo will be here with me and Patty, hopefully, and we will be doing our little Beauty and the Beard podcast that we do. It's just a little fun project that we started, a little side project, if you will. She's got her podcast. I've got mine. We kind of came together to make, one giant podcast. So if you could go to our Instagram page and follow us there, that would be helpful. Also, go to our YouTube channel, the Beauty and the Beard podcast. And give us a subscribe there. We just started it, and we only do a podcast once a month, and I will stream it to my page. I stream it to her page, so you can find it in 3 different places. But yeah, so next week Jennifer Janeo will be with me, and it'll be Beauty and the Beard, and after that we'll be going to Friday. Sound good? I'm excited because I will be now a part of the elite group of people that has Saturday and Sunday off of work. So Friday will actually be Friday, because right now today's my Friday. But that's it, guys. Patty, BC, Easy, thanks for jumping in, and I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. That's all I got. Ladies and gents, outro music.